back with Cooking with Michelle. Today we're going to be making chicken marsala. And over here in our stock pot I have 3/4 cup of marsala wine and 1 3/4 cups of unsalted chicken stock. I'm going to bring it to a boil for about a minute, reduce it down, and it's going to cook for about 15 minutes to reduce down the liquid, because this is going to be our sauce for our chicken marsala. In our other frying pan, I've got a tablespoon of butter, unsalted, and a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil heating up. And I did extra chicken just because we got a little bit for the week. So to pound out your chicken, I've got plastic wrap. I've already seasoned my chicken breast. I went ahead and butterflied my chicken breast. So one chicken breast is going to turn into 2 pieces. So on my flat side of my meat masher, I'm just going to pound out the chicken. And if you don't have a meat mallet, you can use a rolling pin or anything heavy. And just think about all the bad stuff your husband did for the week, and then your chicken will be nice and flat. I'm going to change out my gloves. And I have 8 ounces of just white mushrooms I've gone ahead and sliced up. The recipe calls for cremini mushrooms, but you can't really find those around here at our local Food Lion. So I just went ahead and sliced up 8 ounces of the white mushrooms, and couldn't find any parsley, and mine is dead out front, so I cut up a pack of cilantro. I have thyme and oregano that I've also cut up. It's about a teaspoon of the oregano and a teaspoon of the fresh thyme. And 1 pack of the cilantro was about 2 tablespoons. Okay, so our marsala wine and chicken broth are reducing down. I say it takes about 15 minutes. This is the first time I've done this recipe. My husband Jamie wanted chicken marsala. Why, I don't know, but he just wanted to try it. So that's what we're going to go for. So I've got my butter and my olive oil melted. Dredge it in our chicken and about 1/3 cup of flour. Now, like I said, I've already seasoned my chicken with salt and pepper. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the pan. I'm going to turn my temperature up a little bit. Season both sides with salt and pepper and dredge it in the flour. I'm using a 10-inch skillet, so 2 per pan. Like I said, I've got extra chicken. Usually you would just use 2 chicken breasts, cut them, butterfly them, so you would have 4 slices. We're just going to have a little extra for the rest of the week. In the meantime, with chicken marsala, you either serve it with mashed potatoes, rice, or pasta. I'm trying to avoid all of those starches, so I am blanching some zucchini and fresh squash. Just bring your water to a boil, throw your vegetables in. I added a little bit of minced onion, just to give it a little flavor. And once it softens, then I'll take it out. And I've got to have a little bit of butter. If I can't have anything else, at least I can have my butter. Alright, so my chicken is cooked. You want it at 165 degrees. So I'm going to take it out of the pan. I'm going to tint it with foil so it'll stay warm while we add our sauce back into our pot. Tint it, and we're going to add 1 tablespoon of butter and another tablespoon of oil, extra virgin olive oil, to our frying pan. Alright. And you want to leave all those chicken bits in there because that's where all your flavor's at. So I am going to add in my mushrooms. And while those are cooking, we want to add a little bit of salt and pepper. want the pan to get too cold. We want to encourage browning. With these being white mushrooms, they might not brown as much as the cremini mushrooms. If you can find cremini, go ahead and get them. They got better flavor. Like I said, this is all that Food Line had today. So we're gonna let those brown and frequently go back to them and stir them around to encourage browning on all sides. So I'm going to add in, it calls for 3 garlic cloves, but I have one big one and one medium one that I'm going to add in. And I'm using my handy dandy Favorite Chef garlic press. I don't want a big chunk of garlic in my sauce. Whew, smell that garlic. No vampires tonight. I'll let that cook for about a minute. Take this out. And while you're cooking down all your chicken and your mushrooms, if your sauce gets down past the cup, you can add in more chicken stock to equal it out to a cup. And it has a tip, if you're not really a big wine sauce person like I'm not, add a little bit, a couple pinches of sugar to your Marsala wine production. So we're going to remove your pan from the heat. We're going to add in our sauce to our mushrooms. And I'm going to add in our oregano and thyme. Stir that in. I'm going to bring it back to the heat. I'm going to reduce it down just a little bit. Doesn't that look good already? It looks so good. Even Chief wants it. He's over there smelling it. Now we want to scrape up all the brown bits from the bottom. That's where your flavor is. Alright, and then I have a cornstarch mixture that I'm getting ready to pour in. It's 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of your chicken broth. It's going to go right into our mixture. This is what we're going to use to thicken up our sauce. I can get it all out. Stir that around. Get everything off the bottom. And let it start thickening up. It smells really, really good. I wish I could smell it. If you make the recipe, you will smell it. So I will share the recipe as well as the video. The sauce is thickening up. If it's too thin, go ahead and add a little bit more cornstarch. If it's too thin, add a little bit more chicken broth. So we're going to take it off the heat. I'm going to add in 1/3 cup of heavy cream. Try to scrape all that out. I'm going to salt and pepper it. I like a lot of pepper. Stir it in. Look at that nice creamy sauce. And then we're going to add the chicken back in and spoon the sauce over the top. Remember, I cooked extra, so I'm going to put all of that chicken in. I should have 4 slices. And you can spoon that sauce right over the top. And then we're going to add our cilantro. So like I said, I didn't have any parsley. Right over the top of that. And then we're going to plate it up, and then we're going to eat it. Doesn't that look yummy? Move some stuff out of the way. We're going to plate it up. I have my steamed squash ready to go. So I've just added butter, salt and pepper to our squash. Add that to the plate. And Chief is over here wanting some food bad. He knows he's allergic to chicken, so he can't have any. Look at that yummy goodness. Oh boy. Put that right here on our plates. It smells so good. Spoon some sauce down over the top. Look at that. Alright, and that's chicken marsala. Chicken marsala and steamed squash. Thank you all for tuning in. Check us out next week with Cooking with Michelle. Have a good evening.